In order to add the event handling, we need to start out by, I think, setting properties of these controls so that we could refer to them in code. So to do that, we'll select each one in turn and set various properties. For this text box, for example, I'll set the name to be name text box. For the label, we'll set the name to be instruction label. And for the button, we'll set the name to be greeting button. In addition, I probably want the button to say something besides button 1, so I'll set its text property to be greeting. Okay, well, we've laid out the form. Well, it's not very useful. Let's put the button down here, the text box here, maybe the label next to the text box, and make it a little smaller. There we go. So it's a work of art. We've created our first form. Very good. Now I'd like to add some code so that when I click the button, something happens. One way to do it is to choose the Events tab on the Properties window, and this lists all of the events for the currently selected object. Right now, the form is selected. If I click on the button, its events will be listed. The one that's selected by default is the default event of the object, and every object has a default event for the most part. You can also choose to add code to any of these other events as well, but for now it's the click event that I want to work with, so I can either double-click here or just double-click the control. I'll do that now. And this creates the event handler for the correct event for the selected control. I'm going to insert a line break here so you can see that you're passed 2 parameters by the .NET runtime when this event handler gets called by the .NET runtime. There's also the handles keyword, which indicates that this procedure will handle the greeting_button.click event. That's the event we'll be reacting to here. Well, let's add some code. Let's set the text property of the form to be a greeting. Hello. And then I'll concatenate to that the text in name text box. All I need to do is type enough of the name to identify it. I can then press Tab to insert the rest. Let's get the text property, and IntelliSense does help us out here. I press the space bar, concatenate to that the all-important exclamation point. Well, let's see if it works. If it does, when I click the button, we should insert into the text property of this form, hello, comma, whatever's in the name text box, and then an exclamation point. Let's save it and run it. And here I'll put in a name, click the button, and look, clicking the button does set the caption of the form based on the text you supplied in the click event handler. So this example, simple as it is, shows off the basic steps you need to create a Windows application. You either use the default form that's supplied for you, or you can add a new form to the project. You can add controls to the form, which we've done here. You set properties of the form and its controls. And finally, add event handling code to make the form do something. We've done all of those things so far.